I think it's high time that we have a come to Jesus meeting with Wendy Williams. Let's discuss. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. Hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. I wanted to come at you guys today and talk about the queen of media herself by the name of Wendy Williams. Now, y'all, Wendy Williams is a very polarizing, somewhat controversial figure in all of media. Now, if you all are new to this channel, it's no secret that I am a fan of Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has really paved the way for what I am doing right now and today. Wendy Williams has always been, to me, just very salacious, very entertaining. She's just straight, no chaser, straight to the point. I became a fan of her mainly when she first got her first radio show, her first TV show on VH1. They were basically just filming her doing interviews on her radio show. It was very toned down, even though she was a very vulgar individual back then. It was like a toned down look at who she was, and that's how I was introduced to her, because she was mainly only known like in the New York area. Yeah, and she was very popular back then, but before the days of YouTube, I had no idea who she was until she got on VH1. And now Wendy Williams has her talk show on Fox. She's been on the show for 10 years, and it's been a pretty bumpy ride with a lot of ups and a lot of downs. Now, the one thing I love and respect about Wendy Williams is that she, in my opinion, was the ghostwriter of that one book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, because no matter what she says it like she means it, and when people go back at her, she never responds. She's always just keeps it cute and keeps it on mute. But at this day and age, it's starting to get to a point where she's going to have to start addressing some of the stuff that she puts out there, especially on her own talk show. And to keep it all the way real with y'all, even though she has built that show up for the past 10 years, we are currently in the midst of watching it all go down in flames. And I want to get into the subtle problems, not even subtle, the problems that I've noticed about Wendy Williams. So the first problem I noticed about Wendy Williams is her black gay backbone by the name of Norman, allegedly black. But if you guys don't know who Norman is that one guy that sits over there and corrects her. He has really enabled her to not have to do her own job. Norman has enabled her to sit up in that purple chair, collect and check. Like, she doesn't have to do anything. She literally comes up to the show, goes to her Hot Topic bureau and be like, okay, what am I talking about today? Wendy Williams does absolutely no research at all on any of the topics. Like, she literally just uses him to correct any mistake that she makes. And even back in the day, there used to be two of them. There was like another white guy with glasses that used to stand right by Norman to also help correct Wendy Williams. But she fired the white version of Norman whenever she got into that whole entire kerfuffle when she said that HBCUs were racist institutions. And Norman has also made her job so easy to a point where she doesn't even prepare for her interviews anymore. Like, she just reads off a little card, or she just like goes off of the grain. Like, she doesn't really prepare or do any research on the topic or the person at hand that she's talking about or talking to. But Norman has really made her job a walk in the park, because she just leans on him to do all of the legwork in terms of the research and getting the facts straight, while she just sits up there, reads off a teleprompter, and goes from segment to segment, topic to topic. And when she interviews people, it's gotten to a point where it's just very unprofessional, because she kind of just like flops and flubs the interviews, because she's never prepped, she's never prepared, she never does any research on her guests and what they got going on and what they came on the show to talk about. And she always goes off topic, talking about their love life or talking about like their sexual antics. And that brings me to another problem with Wendy Williams, which is her horniness. Wendy Williams has been just, ever since her divorce, she has just been like a dog with a bone. Like, she has been trying to get a bone. She's been trying to get bone. She has been trying to get plowed by any and every person that sits on that couch. Now, it's all cool to do a little harmless flirting, but it's gotten to a point where she literally undresses these men with her eyes and her lips whenever she's on the stage talking to them. It's gotten to a point where she's coming off as like a horny schoolgirl, and it's downright unprofessional. Like, get it together, girl. Like, trust me, I understand what it feels to be dick deprived. I'm going through it right now, a dry spell. I understand it. But girl, you're a celebrity. You can get any type of man that you want. You can also get any man to come around at any time of the night. So, Wendy Williams, you have no excuse. You have the money and the access to get you a man. But overall, she is just like, her libido is just off the charts. And her unprofessional antics on the show kind of lead me to talk about her alcohol and drug use. Now, I'm not going to say that Wendy Williams is back on drugs or say that she is abusing alcohol, but when you go to your show and you're like almost borderline asleep when you're giving these topics to us. You don't know what you're talking about. You're slurring your words. You look tired. You look high. I can't help to think that you are doing a little something something. Like if you guys watch The Real Housewives of New York, she gives me a Sonia Morgan tea. Like she probably mixes pills with alcohol. Not saying she does, but that's just what she gives me. That's the energy that Wendy Williams gives on her show. She gets on and does like the bare ass minimum. Like she gets on there and she's just half past dead. And like I said, I'm not trying to be defamatory or bash her. I'm already in trouble with YouTube as it is. I'm just saying, Wendy, like you look very, very induced. Like you look like you've indulged in a little something before you get wheeled out on set. Now I understand there's a lot of substance abuse in the industry, especially due to the immense amount of pressure they're on. I mean, she is literally has thousands of people relying on her for a paycheck. That has to be a lot of pressure. But Wendy, after all these years, girl, you are crumbling and fumbling the bag. And it's gotten really sad because it's gotten to a point where she keeps getting renewed because people are tuning in for the antics versus the hot topics and also like the funness of the show. Wendy, your show's not fun anymore. People watch the show to make fun of you now at this point. Like you're slowly becoming a joke. Now me personally, there's been many times where I thought she was going to lose this show, especially during the pandemic when they had her at home and she clearly just could not do it. Like she was just like, fuck this. I do not want to do this. She was just depressed. She was lonely. She was tired. They tried to film it at her home and she was like, I cannot do this. Like her mental health was completely just out of whack and they went on a very long hiatus. Now, will the Wendy Williams show ever get canceled? I don't think so, but it's not off the cliff yet, but it's getting really close to the ledge. Now, I will say the thing of cancel culture does not exist. I mean, Wendy Williams has proven that she can weather any single storm. However, girl, this whole entire situation where you talking about this TikTok star was absolutely out of line and uncalled for. Now, normally Wendy Williams can say what she wants. People get backlash, but yet they always come back to watch her. Like, she has that power. And Wendy Williams does have that power over people to where she can piss them off, but they always come back because they write her off as just that drunk auntie. And in my opinion, when she caught backlash for this TikTok incident, I just wrote it off before I even saw the video. I was like, oh, that's just Auntie Wendy. She just be drunk. She just be a fool. She gonna say what she wants to say, and everybody's gonna come back because they love her at the end of the day. But she opened up this segment about the death of this TikTok influencer by the name of Sway V, stating the fact that she was low-key jealous over the fact that she had more followers than him. And then Norman was like, well, you have more followers on Instagram. And like that really even matters. This man literally just lost his life. She talked about his follower account, and then she talked about how his death, she didn't even really address his death. She was just very like, oh, well, somebody came in and murdered him. All those followers. But next up, that's what she did. She legit did not care. She had no form of care or any type of choice words for this black man losing his life. At the age of 21, for that matter. My thing is, Wendy Williams, I think at some point you're going to have to go to some form of rehab. I mean, I know you did it whenever you were with your husband. I mean, divorcing your husband. But it's time to go in for a checkup, girl, because something is seriously wrong and the boat is rocking right now, girl. Like, you're on shaky ground. Like, I understand you got 10 years of the game, and this is probably just like a walk in the park to you. I mean, mainly due to all the help that you have. But at some point, you need to start being professional again, Wendy. Like, you can't just be coming on television just saying, like, fuck this shit, I'm still getting a paycheck. Like, you can't just be like, be fuck all. And lastly, I think the deeper problem with Wendy is she's alone. She's alone, and she's indulging in other things to cope with her loneliness. And her loneliness is spilling over into her professional life, and it's going to cost her a bag, cost her sponsorship, cost her anything, you name it, that has anything that goes with the inner workings of the Wendy Williams show. Now, I understand your issues and your frustrations, Wendy, but at some point you need to get back to being professional, girl. Like, you can't just continue to come on this show just saying fuck it every day. Like, you have to actually care about your livelihood at some point again. Like, I think she honestly just lost the passion and is just going through the motions. Like, she's just going through the motions in her life. She doesn't really have anybody pouring into her, and that's what is missing her. She's missing affection and good dick. That's really the root of her issues, and she's indulging in all these other substances, like I said, to cope with the emptiness that she's feeling inside. But overall, girl, you need to get back on this show and get back on your shit and let everybody realize and remember that you are the queen of this shit. Now, I don't want to hold y'all too long, but overall, Wendy, you and your tree stump legs need to get the fuck out there and make people remember who the fuck you are and why you have this show. Get to fucking work, get the shit done, and get it done right. But those are my views, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to come at you guys with some more content.